I do want to share one more story that is developing in real time. Turns out Canadian banks and credit cards and so on are not working at this present moment in time. It seems as though my source is Twitter, so bear with me that I'm getting it from Jeff Kurdekis. I hope I pronounced your last name properly. Apologies if I did not. The banking system, including all debit cards, are currently down in Canada. No one can make payments for anything. So I guess this is my response to anyone that has ever said, but what happens to Bitcoin if the internet shuts down? What happens to your bank account if the banks shut down? This is scary. This is further validation for Bitcoin. I'm loving that Canada is turning into like a test zone for why Bitcoin. Time and time again, Canada continues to really prop up Bitcoin. What are your guys' initial thoughts on this?
My initial thoughts, if you don't mind me going first, P, is tinfoil hat. We're putting that on. Isn't this what the WEF, the World Economic Forum, was talking about? Like, oh, there's going to be a banking holiday on a Friday where your banks go down, no one's things work, and then we have to reset the system. This is the Great Reset. This is upon us.
Oh my God. Tino, Andrea, someone has to screenshot Chris's face in that moment. Please.
Yeah, that was the craziest I've ever seen you.
That was good. I did it for the clips, but anyway. No, I think it's very interesting. I mean, they talk about this great reset. And I believe even Klaus Schwab himself was saying, oh, there's going to be a banking holiday. Banks are going to be down for the whole weekend. And then we start this new system, whether that's a CBDC, whether that's, I don't know. What's the saying? You're 3 meals away from a revolution. So if people can't access their bank accounts, I'm assuming the banks, you can't even withdraw money. I don't know. This is just speculation at this point. But then cash becomes the only option, and or Bitcoin. I guess you can lump like other things become a money, because it's like, oh, hey, I got some gasoline. I'll give you some gasoline to get my groceries. I know that sounds crazy, but like the barter system breaks down. If you don't have cash, what do? Oh, I have Bitcoin. Oh, maybe I have another cryptocurrency. Not that I advocate those. I'm just saying, like, what do you have that you can use in the moment? And if someone needs gasoline for their car to get somewhere and you can siphon some out of your car, that is now a barter trade. Like, I don't know. It's scary for sure. And I hope it gets resolved quickly, but it is something that's very, very interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's my first thoughts.
I mean, you're so spot on, and I'm genuinely trying to do the math right now of like how many canisters of gas do I need to buy, and at what price point does gas need to get to for this to actually be a profitable investment?
No.
I love where your head's at, Chris.
No, the answer is buy Bitcoin.
And gas.
Thank you for grounding us there.
Yeah. Of course, you do not need to, get a little gasoline siphon system set up so that you can pull it into your mouth and get mouth cancer eventually because you're, insufflating, fucking gasoline. Don't do that. Just buy Bitcoin instead. You'll be good to go.
Pete, so actually, this is actually a good question for you and Q as well. How would someone do that if your bank is shut down? In most instances, with Strike, with Cash App, with whatever centralized platform, if you were to go and buy it right now and the banks are down, you can't get money in and out. What would be the best way to do a peer-to-peer transaction that I give you cash or whatever for Bitcoin in return? How would someone do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. Again, all joking aside, like you're right, Q. And Chris, this is a perfect example of the fundamental, or one of the fundamental premises of Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin disintermediates the process of value exchange. So whereas if you want to send somebody money, whether it's via Venmo or PayPal or even Cash App, which I love Cash App, or just through your bank, right, or through the ACH system, there is an intermediary there, right? You cannot complete that transaction unless the intermediary, whether it's both your banks, PayPal, and then there's layers on top of that, acquiesces to that transaction. So if you have your money in a bank and the bank goes under, or the bank suspends, the ability to withdraw, as we saw in the Bitcoin space with, Celsius and, Voyager and these other exchanges, which is why we say get your, not your keys, not your coin, get your Bitcoin off an exchange. There's nothing you can do because they control those funds. All you actually owe if you have your money, or the only thing you actually own if you have your money in a bank account, is an IOU. You are trusting the bank to make good on that IOU, and they sometimes don't. With Bitcoin, there is no intermediary. if you control your private keys, you can sign a transaction that moves that Bitcoin to another address, and that can be an address owned by somebody else, and then you're done. There's no way to stop that transaction. Once it gets mined into a block, you're good to go. There's nothing else that needs to be done. So that's one of the reasons that I am so excited about Bitcoin. Many people are so excited about Bitcoin. It's one of the really compelling aspects of it.